Why, hello there, fellow viewers of the internet. So, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different today, seeing which one of my pets would be able to survive in the Mesozoic time period. Let's first start out with this sassy little britches. Now, you're probably wondering, oh wow, a cat. This isn't easy S tier. And normally you'd be right, but this is my cat. And my cat doesn't do so well outside anymore. As she's gotten older, she's become more and more of an indoor cat. And whenever we put her in a new environment, she's too traumatized to do anything. Which would make her very easy pickings for theropod dinosaurs, specifically the small carnivorous ones. But given the fact that she's old and arthritic and has diabetes, could easily make her get squished by large theropod dinosaurs as well as the herbivorous ones because she can't go very fast. She would also make good hunting practice for baby theropods as well. So, sorry Jersey, but you're an F tier. If you weren't so much of a scaredy cat, and if you weren't so spoiled, you might rank higher. But you're still adorable and I love you. Now as for the other ones, that's a lot harder. Let's first start out with this little dorky dude. Now, OK is a very interesting case, because there were plenty of lizards that existed back in the dinosaur time, including geckos, but they were the climbing species of geckos like that of the New Caledonian geckos, which include crested geckos and their many relatives, with leopard geckos just barely evolving at that time. So, he has plenty of experience built in his genes. But there's a catch. Well, because you see, he has very bad depth perception and is kind of old, so he can't see very well, so he won't be able to see a predatory theropod dinosaur coming. But he will be able to hear them coming and smell them and sense them. Because what you don't know is that ground-dwelling geckos can actually feel vibrations coming off the ground by using electroreception, which is actually how they climb up the walls in the first place. But anyway, since he is nocturnal, he can avoid the majority of the predatory theropods, but he'd still have to watch out for the nocturnal hunters, which aren't that many, but still. Since he does have plenty of experience dealing with dinosaurs in his genes, but he's still kind of old and can't detect predatory dinosaurs that very well, I'm going to rank him a solid mid-tier. Which is pretty decent, because he does have a decent shot of avoiding them, but he still is kind of a sitting duck if he is caught out in the open. Now, as for Mars, on the other hand, she actually has a huge shot of surviving. Because similar to lizards, tortoises also existed back then. So, much like OK, she does know how to deal with dinosaurs in her genes. But unlike him, she's an herbivore, which means she doesn't actually have to hunt her food. And also unlike him, she's got a shell. Now, turtle shells do a pretty good job of protecting them in the modern day, as well as back in the Mesozoic time period. The only predators that she'd have to really worry about back then would be pterosaurs, because they could use a similar hunting technique that birds of prey use now, dropping them on rocks to crack their shell open. Which is really sad, but I guess they kind of have to do it, because it's really the only way that they can. But generally though, she would be kind of safe, because the pterosaurs won't be very likely to do it. Because they're stupid, but if she were bigger, that'd be a much different story. And the other predator that can give her a run for her money are the troodontids, because they are the only ones smart enough to get past the shell, similar to what monkeys do today. The claws of the dromaeosaurids might be able to pierce the shell, but it would be very hard for them to do it, and it would leave them with dull claws afterward. Now, given her experience with dealing with dinosaurs in the past, and because of her hard shell and tough interior and exterior, I'm going to rank her an A tier. I really wanted to give her the top spot, but I just couldn't, because there were only 2 animals that deserve that rating. Those 2 animals being the dubia roaches, which is OK's food source, and the fuzzy blackening beetles, the scavengers that clean up after these 2. Now, these 2 insects lived alongside the dinosaurs and cleaned up after them, similar to what the dung beetle would have done back in the day. They would have been feasted upon by dromaeosaurs, as well as theropod dinosaurs and avian dinosaurs, as well as small pterosaurs and other reptiles, but unlike all the other animals listed, these guys are small and freakishly tough. And they come in a bazillion numbers. The sheer number of insects outnumber the sheer number of every single animal on this planet combined. Insects are the most successful group animals of all time, with dinosaurs actually being the second. Now, these 2 being insects, the most successful group of animals of all time, really have the scales in their favor. Heck, and one of them are beetles, and beetles are extremely successful, the second most successful group of insects of all time. The most successful group being ants, termites, and bees, because of course they are. Now, given the fact that they're insects, specifically beetles, clearly deserve an S tier, no doubt about that. And now, without further ado, I present to you the final tier list of my pets existing in the Mesozoic. And I'll see you all later. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.